Hi guys, glory to Jesus Christ and welcome back to my channel. Funny little sidebar. I started recording this video and then I stopped because I realized I couldn't find my phone. And then I realized I was recording on my phone. That's what Holy Week does to church musicians, okay? It's Holy Saturday and I have 4 brain cells left. But I'm making a video because I really need to make this video, and I need to make it now before Easter. And I had a really awesome video planned, but it got overcome by events. And the purpose of this video is to talk about those events and tell you what I learned. And I'm thinking maybe if I tell you what I learned, somebody else, maybe not, could benefit from it a little bit. So basically, I saw something really terrible a couple days ago. And sometimes I feel like when God puts something terrible in front of our eyes, if we look at it in the right way, we can benefit from it. Not in the sense of, oh, I'm glad that happened, but in the sense of, well, at least I learned something. Let's just get right into it. So I have a 2-hour commute to church, 2 hours each way. And that's assuming no construction or accidents. Most of the miles that I drive are highway miles, and so I see a lot of accidents. Sometimes they happen literally right in front of me. I've seen fender benders, I've seen 2 vehicles that fell off overpasses, all the way up to I've seen just horrific stuff where the cars are covered in sheets. But a couple days ago I was driving to church and I saw one that took the cake. And don't worry, it wasn't graphic. I know it sounds like, well, how could it not be graphic if it's bad enough for you to make a video about it? We'll get there. So, here's what happened. I was driving to church. I was about 20 minutes away from church. And it had been kind of stop and go the whole way. Construction, accident, construction, accident. Because you know how when you have like the first nice day of the season, everybody comes out. You know, you got the people in the convertibles, you got the bikers, you've got construction happening, you've got all this stuff going on, and people sometimes are distracted and bad things happen. But I thought I was past all of the construction, so I was tooling along, probably at about 45 miles an hour, with the flow of traffic. The speed limit's 65, but we were going slower than that because there were like lane closures. Don't you love that when they like make you do a polka to get through a stretch of highway? So I was driving along and all of a sudden everybody in front of me slammed on their brakes. And this is a 4-lane highway, so the people on the outer lanes, everybody pulled off onto both shoulders. And some of them kept driving, but quite a few of them got out of their cars and started running. And they were running in the direction of traffic. And I saw even on the other side of the highway, there's a concrete barrier. There was a vehicle that pulled over there. And someone got out of their car, they vaulted over the concrete barrier and started running again ahead of my vehicle. I'd never seen this before. And I'm going, what just happened? I don't see any flashing lights. I didn't see an accident happen. I didn't see like a fireball or flying, glass or car parts. What's going on? So all I could do was sit there and crawl. I had to merge over and you kind of crawl along half on the shoulder as you do. And I noticed that one of the vehicles that was ahead of me had stopped in the road. And it was like 2 or 3 vehicles ahead of me before traffic stopped. And I saw people pile out of that car. They were getting their phones out, they were on the phone. Calling 911, I'm assuming. And as I was creeping by, basically idle speed, it was creeping by, I saw a motorcycle in 2 pieces on the road. And not a crotch rocket. This was like a hog, destroyed. And then I saw what people were running toward, which was the motorcyclist. It was on the pavement, face down, completely unresponsive. It was not graphic, there was no blood. I didn't see any obvious injuries. And even his helmet that he had, it was one of those helmets, it didn't have a mask on it, it was just like the bucket style metal helmet, but it looked brand new. It wasn't all beat up or scratched up. It didn't look like it had just been in an accident. But as I got closer to him, I realized that the helmet and the head were at a weird angle. And I did not like that angle. It didn't look natural. And so a couple people had run up to this gentleman, and they were shouting to try to get a reaction from him. And they were literally poking at him with like one finger. Because if somebody's in an accident, you don't know if they have a neck injury or back injury. You don't want to move them. You don't want to flip them over. So they were just trying to get something from him. But they got nothing because he was dead. Your head doesn't go at that angle normally, okay? So I'm looking at this man who has literally just died. Utterly helpless, face down on the pavement. His family has no idea, his friends have no idea what's just happened, and I don't know how he thought his day was gonna go, but I'm pretty sure it didn't include this. And you know what the scariest part was for me? The part that rattled me the most? It wasn't even that I was looking at a man who had just been killed. It wasn't even that. It was the fact that there were no police and no ambulances. The cavalry was not there to save the day. It was just this dead man and a bunch of strangers who, to their credit, had stopped and were trying to help. And they were on the phone to 911. They were not taking videos and photos. So that gave me some hope for humanity. But the point is, that lack of law enforcement to kind of take charge and fix stuff wasn't there. And of course they weren't there, it just happened. So as I passed, I thought, I wonder if he was ready. Now, that's none of my business if he was or not. But that was my first thought. And then, of course, right after that, if that were me, would I be ready? I know the answer to that. No. Are you ready? So you know how we all know, right? That we're mortal? We all know that at some point, we're going to find out if we're ready or not. And we know that tomorrow is not promised to us. We know that 30 seconds from now is not promised to us. We know it. But when I saw that, I knew it. Sometimes you have to be confronted with it to get it. And so tonight I was getting ready for Pascha, and I'm going, I don't know. This might be my last Pascha. Who knows? I hope it's not, because I'm sure as heck not ready for it to be my last Pascha, but it could be. Nobody knows. It could be yours. We don't know. Am I ready? Are you ready? So as terrible as this was, and as sorry as I am that this happened, I'm glad I saw it. If it had to happen, at least I'm glad I got to see it. For that reason. Sometimes these uncomfortable moments are extremely beneficial. And I feel like I learned an important object lesson there. I mean, I could still see it exactly as it unfolded, as this like tableau unfurled as I rolled past it 2 miles an hour or whatever I was going. So, I know we're not in Lent anymore, but going forward, I'm going to try to remind myself super frequently about this. Say, hey, are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? How are you doing? And we should be doing that anyway. But if we're honest with ourselves, sometimes we forget. Sometimes we forget that we're not going to live forever in this body, on this world. Because it's so seductive. But I needed to see that. because at some point it'll be me, helpless, dead, in a box in the ground. I wish I knew this gentleman's name. If I did, I would tell you so that we could all pray for him by name. I have no idea. I tried to Google it, didn't get a name, so I really don't know. But if you think of it, just remember this gentleman in your thoughts and prayers, because I hope he was ready. In the meantime, if you are celebrating Pascha tonight, I hope that you have an awesome, amazing, blessed feast. And I also want to wish a happy Easter a week late to all sincere Western Christians. And I'm going to need a day or two to recover after Pascha, and then I will come back at you with the video that I had hoped to already publish before and get back into a more frequent recording schedule again. So I love you all. Please pray for me. I'll pray for you. And have a great night. Christ is risen. I know I'm a few hours early, but forgive me. Christ is risen. And I will see you guys real soon in the next one. Bye.